Hi Aquarius, welcome to New Era. My name is Emma. Aquarius, this is your love reading starting today on the 2nd of May. And just for the very near future is what I'm asking about. The most inspirational, uplifting, guiding message that I can find for you at this moment in time. And I haven't set an end date to it. So if you find it 6 months or a year later than when I posted it, it could still be a reading. I've started to incorporate the number because I just love numbers and I sort of work with them all the time. Not work with them, but like talking almost to them. Like they're with me all the time. So I figured I just incorporate it into the reading. And so today's date is number 2 and the frequency of that. Every number carries a unique frequency. And so number 2 is all about conversation, communication, and relationships, which is awesome for your relationship or love story reading. So no further ado. Just gonna start shuffle and see whatever wants to come up for you, Aquarius. Wait, they came out like that, so like that. Cool. Several cards wants to join in, but not really. So there might be something to that. You might have had some suitors come your way, Aquarius, but then sort of nothing really is coming of it. Aquarius love story. I'm using the Archangel Power Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue. And I just want to make clear that it's not a typical tarot reading. I'm just using the images in the cards to get my own intuition going. So, cards on the table are absolutely gorgeous. There's a soulmate connection here, a strong soulmate connection. And the storyline is almost like first you were sort of like first you were your own soulmate. I don't know if that makes sense. So would you agree that when you were 13 years old, maybe you weren't the best soulmate material in the world? You were sort of, if you were a girl, you were very hung up in terms of hormones and just trying to figure out who the hell you are. If you're a boy, equally so. And like over time, we've grown into this place where we might actually add something to another human being. And not just be all about drama and trauma and you know, but like over the years, you've become a soulmate version of yourself. And not until that point can you also attract somebody that is soulmate material, right? So it feels like first we needed to go into this place. Maybe this has been recent for you. Maybe this has been, and I'm not trying to sort of, excuse me, like pet somebody on their head, like, oh, haven't you come further than that? I mean, God knows we're you know, evolving and growing and expanding each day, and whomever is interested in their own growth is like coming to a specific relationship, a specific moment. There might be something stretching over time that makes you like figure out more things about yourself, more things about what you don't want in a relationship, more things about what you do want in a relationship, who you want to be in a relationship. And I just want to show you, because that's sort of the story. When I just look at the cards, like at first glance, it's like a story unfolds. But then the particular card in itself, and I do apologize, the images are being reversed, and I'm keeping it in like that for right now. It's number 19, and I just absolutely love number 19 in this love story, because number 19 is all about the Prince of Heaven, which then I've added the Princess of Heaven, because why should there only be a prince? So the Princess of Heaven and the Prince of Heaven is coming your way. And if you listened to me before, you know that I speak about when the unicorns are coming out or when the peacocks are coming out. Don't ask why, I don't know either. It just has become that way for me over the years. You know, they said that if unicorns or peacocks is showing up, it's telling of a soulmate relationship or a soulmate connection is coming in, or you're already with your soulmate. And if you are, you know you are. Number 19 is all about new beginnings, but also about endings. So there's something we're leaving behind and something new we're stepping into. And if you add those two up, we'll have number 10, which is all about a completion. So it makes perfect sense. So I feel like you practiced. So this is you, like being on that unicorn horse, but you're alone. Typically, I would say this is your person coming in. I see a soulmate connection here, and this is your person coming in because it's the Prince of Heaven, like coming in. But in the last card I have here on the table, there's two unicorns next to each other, which makes me understand that this, and then I see the card in between. So it's like, okay, we start here. We start with the ending and the new beginning with you, within yourself. And like, whether you're single or in a committed relationship or separated, you could always become more soulmate material, if that makes sense. Like you can, like if you would talk about personal growth, we would say you could always learn more things about yourself. There's always more to find out about yourself. It's like saying we're done with the universe. I think we figured it all out. Like we're done with the universe? No, we're barely, like, what do we know? Like we're barely scraping the surface of it. And that's what I find about like ourselves as well. Like we're probably walking around being complete magician wizards, all of us, and we have absolutely no idea yet. And so when it comes to just getting the normal behaviors down, it feels like that's been on your... So maybe, and you got to figure out which side of this you're on. So Aquarius, either you've been on the side where you probably have challenged other people. You challenged other people, meaning you've come into somebody's life being a catalyst person, meaning maybe you just... It's like you come in like a tornado and you turn things upside down for somebody else, and then you sort of decided that it wasn't for you, and maybe it wasn't like any harmful thoughts in that, or maybe like you just did you, and then you were done, and it's like I can't go further than this. But then you've started, like you stirred up all these emotions for somebody else, maybe feeling like, oh my god, they're the one, I'm gonna be with this person for the rest of my life. And then 2 months, 6 months, a year later, you're like, I'm done, bye. That I would call that a catalyst relationship, or vice versa. You know if this is a catalyst person that has come into your life to shake you up, to wake you up, to sort of have you understand what it is that you truly want. And it's not like they all of a sudden shake you up or come in like that. It's because you've asked for it. And you might not sit down and say, hey, can I get a catalyst relationship my way to be a bit shaken up and a bit sad in the process? Not at all. But you probably have asked for the most uplifting, gorgeous relationship that you can find. You probably just want somebody that understands you and that you can live your life with, and it feels darn good. And in order to get to that place, there's some frogs along the way, and there's some stuff to find out within yourself. And depending on how fast you are to get to this place where you are soulmate material, where you are sort of, where you can define yourself as a soulmate, where you really are independent and really like fulfilled within yourself, not until then are you able to really truly attract that soulmate person into your life. That's probably why so many people does mature a bit. Like it doesn't happen until later, and then we put it down like soulmates. If it's a true soulmate, they don't come until you're a bit older. But that's just that. My truth is that's just because you can be 20 and meet your soulmate, no question. If you're soulmate material when you're 20, which is a bit unusual, it has nothing to do with the fact that a soulmate has to be this or that, my truth, but rather you're not that mature. You're not that emotionally mature physically mature, mentally mature, or even spiritually mature until typically, usually, generally, until we're a bit older. So now they can come in when you've become this more soulmate material yourself. And I feel like it's been a journey. For sure, it's been a journey for you. And like I said, sometimes maybe you were the catalyst for somebody else, and sometimes somebody else was the catalyst for you. And I feel like for the maybe past, for some of you guys, it's like pops out like between 3 and 4 years. Like the past 3 and 4 years, it's been a strong shift for you to know exactly what you don't want and know exactly what you do want, and sort of find yourself way more. Maybe realizing like really who you are in this world, and therefore you're such a match now. It's the sun card, so you could be dealing with a Leo. With all of those sunflowers there as well, it could be dealing with a Leo. On the bottom it says, life is wonderful, thrive through the power of positive thinking and inspiring success. This is like, it's talking about your love story. It's talking about how this fairy tale ending, how this fairy tale really has a fairy tale ending. And then there's something about, I see like the ugly duckling there or something like that, like how the ugly duckling has become this swan. Or for some of you guys, that might be of real like significance, that is actually like the ugly duckling, the fula ankungen, I would say in Swedish, and how you blossomed now into this swan. Then we have 6 of Michael, which is great, because 6 is all about that whole love, that complete love, the total love between you and your source, between you and your innermost intuition, let's call it. And when you're sort of in alignment with that, when you're in balance within yourself, connecting in with yourself, knowing more who you are, that's the number 6. And 6 of Michael is all about doing action. Let's go for it. Let's move this forward. Momentum, getting things to pick up speed. They're all about it. And this is like your ship is coming in. There's a dog there, and as soon as there's a dog, it might actually be a dog that is a significance for you, that like there is a real actual dog. But when the dog is there, it talks about loyalty, friendship, this very unconditional love. Like, I don't think I've ever met a dog who's not just very unconditional. And so I feel like this is just describing, it's funny because it's like, the first card is like it's describing you, and this middle card is sort of describing the feeling around your relationship, the basis of the relationship, relationship. Get it? And there is going to be a bit of thunder and lightning. Like there's going to be a bit of, I feel for some of you guys, you need to, I don't want to say choose your battles wisely, but I want to say, there's going to be a bit of, and I mean that's a tough one, and you don't even know what I'm talking about because I haven't said it yet. But like to try not to dip into the past, like so this boat, Michael is coming out from this very dark cloud, like this was in the past, completely in the past, and we're now moving into the future, which is just light and bright. It's really, really like a high, vibrant, awesome feeling around it. And on the bottom it says, it's the light at the end of the tunnel. Breathe a sigh of relief and make new plans. Relocation or travel. Maybe there's relocation or travel. I don't know. I see this. So for some of you guys, what I pick up from this heart is like, I get the feeling of like the heart in stone. Heart in stone, like, so feels like I'm saying 10 things at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to return to the heart in stone thing, and then I'm first going to say this cloud that you're coming out of, you're coming out of it. It's the end. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. It just is. So that's a done deal. But as soon as you get into this new relationship, or as soon as you, if you're getting back with somebody, if this has been a separated situation, even if you're in a committed one, that's a really tough one. If you're in a committed one, you sort of want to just forget the past. You want to sort of act as if this relationship has not happened before, because you continue to grow. And the best relationship is not that you always see eye to eye on everything. It's and I don't mean that then the opposite is that you have to have conflicts. Not at all. But you can have different opinions. You can have you don't have to share your you just don't have to have the same viewpoint on everything. And that's sort of the thing that is going to make you grow the most. But if there's been a tiny bit of a fallout and you're now coming together, to sort of not remember the past of that, and if it's been a separated relationship and you went your separate ways for a while, to sort of not come back and say, well, let's see now if they're, promising what they're promising, or let's see now, or if you're the one who's going to sort of live up to something, or if you're single, it's like you're almost looking like, no, they passed that one, they didn't do that, or maybe you weren't thinking about it, but then something comes up that triggers something from the past. That is something to look for, like to just understand that was the past, and we're coming in so quickly, like we're moving through that so quickly. So there's no real reason to bring anything of the past up, because the past has only put more yummy stuff for the future to just keep that boat going straight forward. And then there's something about a heart in stone. I don't even know if that is an expression or something, but what I see or hear is heart in stone. And I feel like that heart, that little, what looks like insignificant little dot that is just starting to show or starting to glimmer through that stone, through that. And it's not the fact that it's a large stone or a mountain or a big one. It's the fact that the stone is rock solid, literally rock solid. It's the tougher layer. And I think that up until this point, you didn't even see the heart. Up until this point, it has been really closed off, like guarded. And if that is you, like if you're here cross-watching Aquarius, or if you're just drawn to this reading, whatever sign you are, or if you know that this is your separated partner, or if you started to just date, if you're single and you just dated somebody, or if you're in a committed relationship and you know this is not me, you're exactly describing my partner. Or if this is you, I want you to know that whoever this is for, whatever happened in the past, may this person, you or your partner or future partner, close down. Like fully closed down, like no little, is there a chance? No, not even like Dumb and Dumber. Obviously that's telling, maybe not so telling my age, because you can, well, the old Dumb and Dumber, where he says, Jim Carrey is asking his love interest if there's a chance that they can get together, and she's like, no, there's no chance whatsoever. Like he's like, give me a number or something. And he's like one out of 1,000, or he says something like that, and she's like, no, rather 1 out of 1,000,000. And he's like, so you're telling me there's a chance? It's not even that. It's not even 1 of 1,000,000. It's like, it is now. I want to get to the part that it is now. It hasn't been. So if you've been in a separated situation because you were with somebody, you were so strongly drawn together, but for the life of you just could not make it to work, because make it work. it's almost quite the achievement if you've attracted them, because it's like they almost can't feel anything. They almost can't. It's like those people who can't say, like in Sweden, it becomes so obvious because we have a pretty tough R, like the R. So R, some people just can't say R because it's a bit tricky. And so you say the words, but you learn to sort of hide the fact that you really can't pronounce it the way you're supposed to pronounce it. And I don't know if that was a really sucky metaphor, but like, it's like you learn to live with the fact that you don't have an open heart. And I'm not completely sure. I might sound very cynical now, but I'm not completely sure that there's too many people on this earth that is walking around with a complete open heart. But at least not completely shut off heart, at least. This is somebody that has had a very closed off heart. And now there's a heart in that stone. It's like we're starting to see that shine through, and there's an opening. And so whether that is you, Aquarius, and you recognize yourself in this, maybe you haven't even walked around thinking like, no, I don't have a closed off heart. And don't confuse that with not feeling empathy for somebody else, not caring for other people, not loving other people. But as soon as it comes to that romantic relationship, when somebody's like coming closely to your heart, I feel like there's been just a shutdown, and now it's not wide open at all. But I understand way more now than if this is you, Aquarius, you've needed some time, and there's some shift that has happened quite recently, or at least a few years ago, that has allowed for you to start to find that heart again, or start to like let go of that wall a bit. And you know, if this is your person, it's like you're describing my separated partner is them. And if you're longing for them, and if you felt truly in your heart, if you just know to the core of your being that you're supposed to be with them, just know that they're on their way back, because now something has happened in their life, or something has shifted, where they're now opening up. They're opening up again. I see like this tiny little dot. So we're not talking huge, but it's a start. It's the light at the end of the tunnel, and we have to start somewhere. And if we focus on that little dot, if we focus on that little light, quite soon that's going to grow bigger and bigger. So there's some significance to that, you think? To incorporate that in this whole scheme of what's going on for you right now. And if you're in a committed relationship, kudos to you, because if that is you, you've been struggling to really meet your partner. Or if that is your partner, you've been struggling to really meet your partner. And for you to then have still stay together, and now see that is opening up within you, or see that is opening up within your partner, that's going to be priceless. And then we have the Chariot, and here comes the two unicorns. So we had the one unicorn here, starting here by yourself, and now we've come together in this Chariot. And I know that the Chariot, I think, is a good one in the tarot reading. I'm not 100% sure. It looks really awesome in the card, but I'm not drawn to that. The Chariot, but just the card in itself, to me, is just magic, pure magic, with all those little fairy dusty glimmers and everything. And that the wagon, like they're coming in on this golden wagon. It's quite interesting, because how this has been described, it's not touching the ground. It's like coming in, flying in. And here we're not touching the ground. It's like the wagon is it's a little Santa Claus inspiration here. But it's being golden. We're being carried in this golden carriage. And these two unicorns have come together now. And it's all happy. Like it's all magic. It's really magical. And with the number 7, that's like a completion. It's like we're done the work now. We've found ourselves. We have looked deep in our heart and we've opened things, and we're starting to, if you're single, you're coming together with your soulmate. That is your soulmate. What is a soulmate? A soulmate is somebody that you usually you've reached a point where you know who you are, so you know what you don't want, and you do know exactly what you're looking for in a partner. And you reach that typical mature level that it's more a soul-based relationship rather than I don't know, they had a cool pair of jeans, you know. It's a bit deeper than that. Not judging anybody. So with the number 7, we're completing something. We're coming together in this singlehood, or no single no more. If you're separated, it's talking about a completion. Whatever you were supposed to go through, wherever you've been through, is now coming to an end. It has now completed. Something has shifted here, and we're opening up again. And if you're in a committed relationship, this is really gorgeous. You really are. And it wants to point out how you can be so different, how one is white and one is black. It could speak about ethnicity. Yeah. You could be speaking about religion, about political views. It could be anything, really, how you could be so different. But that the kind of, like, you're just completely letting each other be exactly who you are, which is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to continue to pull cards in the extended. So if you feel like you resonate with this, then you probably will resonate with the extended as well. So then the link is in the description box down below. I don't think it was anything more here for you. There's something a bit with symbolism with signs and synchronicities, that you probably see a lot of signs and synchronicities right now. Yeah. Anywho, come to the extended if you like. If this is where we go our separate ways, then thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you back in a week. Take care, Grace. Bye.